Bath salts are something that I've had a lot of fun with over the years, from making them at birthday parties with the kids to just making them as little gifts for a friend. And some of the times we've really gotten creative. So I want to show you one of the creative ways that I've done this. If you were not interested in making it creative, you could use all these same methods and just make a really basic bath salt that's still so good for you. The Epsom salts are amazing. They provide supplemental magnesium, which is very good for promoting sleep, reducing stress, reducing cramps and soreness, as well as reducing pain and swelling. And it can even help with mild constipation. So very, very good. Along with any of the oils that you choose, you get the benefits of those as well. Now, it's actually really easy to put this together. I like to use bags because I feel like it makes it a little bit easier to mix them. So I just turn over the edge of the bag because it kind of folds it open a little bit better. And then I pour in 3 cups of Epsom salt, which is the same thing as magnesium sulfate. You can actually get really big bags of it at garden supply centers and egg places for way less than if you go to the health food store. And then I also add 1.5 cups of salt. When I do it for different size containers, I might mix it up a little bit, but it's always that 2-to-1 ratio. So the table salt is going to be half of whatever the Epsom salt is. At this point, I want to add my essential oils. For me, it's going to be creamy coconut today because I'm doing a tropical kind of theme for my bath salts. This is one of my favorite ones. You know, the different food colorings that you put in will actually tint the water. So I like this because the water is tinted blue, which makes it actually look cleaner somehow and more like a swimming pool water or something. And for this, I'll put anywhere from 18 to 24 drops in. And I like mine to smell really good. It tends to be a little bit potent when it's in the salt, but once you put it in the bath, that dilutes it quite a bit. So if you decide you want more or less, it's personal preference on that one. Then I get out as much of the air as I can from the bag, and I just press that salt around, trying to mix it in with the oil. You kind of have to massage it. If there's too much of the air still in the bag, it'll just burst open and salt will go everywhere. We found that out at a couple of birthday parties we did. So I try to make sure it's mixed really well because I want those oils all dispersed. And then I give it a good sniff. Actually, a gentle sniff because, like I said, it should be pretty strong. And if it's not strong, you actually want to add more. Because this is creamy coconut, I feel like it's a little bit subtle, so I'm going to add some more drops. There's some of the scents, though, that if I do 24 drops, it'll actually be really overwhelming. So it kind of just depends on the kind of oil you do. So then I'll mix it again. Whew, now it's quite potent, which is exactly what I want. If I wasn't doing artistic bath salts, I would just do 1 coloring in there and that would be it. But since I am doing it artistically today, I'll take out 3/4 cup of the salt mix and I'll put it in a little quart-sized container. And this is actually what I'm going to start with because this will be my sand. I'll add anywhere from 3 to 6 drops of the brown food coloring. I'll start with 3 because I can always add more. I want it to be fairly light colored because I want it to look like beach sand. And I've found if you keep the food coloring away from the edge of the plastic and just kind of press it in between your salts, it's a little bit easier. As soon as it gets on the side, mine has a little too much air in it, but as soon as it gets on the side, it can be hard to get off the edge. That's pretty light, so I'm gonna do 2 more drops. So that'll be 5 drops for this. And fair warning, you're probably gonna get some on your hands and maybe your clothes. An apron's a good idea. Now that looks much more like a sand color to me. So now I'll take my jar, and this is one of my favorite type of jars where it has just a very long side, it's clear, and so you'll be able to see the layers really nicely, and then it just has a little cork top, so it's kind of perfect. You can use a mason jar, anything. So my first layer is going to be like the ocean floor. The first couple times we did this, my kids convinced me that it was necessary to have an ocean floor. So I pour about half of what I have here in there because it needs to be enough so that people can see the layer down at the bottom. And I really like how some of those Epsom salt crystals actually take up more than other ones, and so you'll have little flecks of darker brown. And now I'll set the rest of the brown aside because this will be my little island. This is kind of a fun one to do because it's like this progressive coloring, and so the water changes color as it goes up with the different layers. So I'll start out with blue food coloring, and I wanted a pretty light blue, so I'm just going to do 3 drops, and then I'll mix it together, just the same way that we did the other one. It's a little bit easier to mix the food coloring just because you can see where it's at and what still needs to be mixed. Now I have a really lovely light blue, and this will be the base of my ocean water. I'll try to do about 1/5 of the sand that I have in here, and when I pour it into the jar, I actually want to hit it against the one side of the jar so that it goes at an angle. You could do just a flat layer, but I don't know, I like my angled layers. Now I'll add 3 more drops of the blue and mix those together. Because that salt is so granular, as you press it against the little spots that have the food coloring in it, it breaks it up and allows it to be mixed in fully. And it's actually a really pretty blue color. It's still pretty light, so you won't notice a big difference with this level, but that's okay. So what I do is I turn my jar so that I'm working on the opposite side that I was working on previously. And I just let it hit the jar again, and then deflect down until I've used about 1/4 of what's left. For this next level, I want to add 3 drops of the yellow. And you wouldn't think that yellow would make a big difference, but it gives it a slightly more greenish hue, which makes sense. And yellow is a much more mild color as far as the food coloring goes. So it'll just blend in. As there gets to be less and less of the salts in the bag, it's a little bit easier to mix them together. I actually really like adding that yellow in because I feel like it gives it more of that turquoise feel. So then I'll turn my jar again and work on this opposite side. And it's kind of hard to estimate sometimes exactly how much you're using. And for each jar it feels a little bit different, but it's kind of fun. You can see the color differentiation already. Now I'll move back to the blue, and I'm gonna add 6 drops of the blue because I really want this to get darker here. I homeschool, so some of these hands-on projects like this are really great for the little kids to do, especially when they're like, you know, kindergarten, 1st grade. So then I'll turn my jar and again, do it on the other side. I want to do about half of what's left in the container here. And then I'll add 3 more drops of the yellow. And it's this pretty blue-green color. And that's what I'll put on the top, of course, on the opposite side of the jar. So at this point, I'll put in the rest of my water sand, or of my water salt. And then I just wiggle it a tiny bit so that it's not quite so steep a mountain on the top there. I don't want it to look like the island is actually lower than the water. So now I turn it again. And on that far side is where I'm going to pour my island salt. And then again, I like to do just a little wiggle. So I want there to be a gentle slope, but not too much. I still want to be able to see some of that water at the top edge there though. And one of the fun things that I like to do is put in these little glycerin soaps. I like to use the little chocolate silicone molds, and they work perfect for these. You can find them in all kinds of cute designs too, so that's fun. I've found that I either like the yellows or the reddish colors for going with this. And then I position my little starfish up in the sand. And I even have a little fish tail, so I'll place that kind of down in the water. And that is my bath salts. It's super fun. and ready to be gifted or ready to be used. And what a great way to get your kids to not only want to take a bath, but to want to use soap.